ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
सह वीर्यं करवावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अनुसन्धामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे
सर्वशक्ति समन्विते
सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते।
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी
देवी
दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते।
नमोस्तुते।
रोगान् शेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्।
रोगानशेषानपहंसि
तुष्टारुष्टान् सकलसकलानभीष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति।
त्वामाश्रितानां
त्वामाश्रिताश्रयतां
प्रयान्ति
सर्वबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी।
सर्वबाधाशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्येश्वरी।
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्।
अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे
सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते।
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो
नो
देवी
देवी
नमोस्तुते।
रोगान् शेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्।
रोगानशेषानपहंसि
तुष्टारुष्टातुकामान्
त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति। सर्वबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी।
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्येश्वरी।
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्।
एवमेव कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते।
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते।
रोगान् शेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्।
रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातुकामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति। सर्वबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी।
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्येश्वरी।
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्।
सर्वमेव
त्वया
कार्यम्
कार्यम्
अस्मद्गुरुनाशनम्।
अस्मद्गुरुनाशनम्।
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानम्
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानम्
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
इक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा
ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र
सर्वत्र समदर्शनः
समदर्शनः
यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र
यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र
सर्वं च मयि पश्यति
सर्वं च मयि पश्यति
तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि
तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि
स च मे न प्रणश्यति
स च मे न प्रणश्यति
सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां
सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां
भजत्येकत्वमास्थितः सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि
सर्वदा वर्तमानोऽपि
स योगी मयि वर्तते
योगी मयि वर्तते।
We have seen in beginning of this chapter, there are total main 5 topics have been discussed in this chapter. First one is called Bahiranga Sadhanani, or it's called Samanya Sadhanani. A person who would like to do meditation, such person, they should live a life in which manner? So we have to follow Karma Yoga. It's called Bahiranga Sadhanani. This is the first topic Bhagavan has discussed in this chapter. Second topic Bhagavan has discussed is Antaranga Sadhanani. Immediately before sitting the meditation, which steps we have to follow is also discussed by Bhagavan. It's called Antaranga Sadhanani. What is the real nature of meditation? It's called Dhyana Swarupa. Is also discussed in this chapter. And right now, what right now we are seeing is called Dhyana Phalam, the result of meditation. And last topic will be Dhyana Pratibandha. What are the obstacles? And Bhagavan also, what are the remedies of their obstacles? This is the last topic Bhagavan will discuss. But right now we are seeing Dhyana Phalam, the result of meditation. So, wait 1 minute. So all 20 up starts from 29th. Even this Sukham also, Prashantam, that from 27 up to 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, even 32. All are called the Dhyanasya Phalam, the result of Dhyana. Yesterday we have seen exalted happiness will come to this meditator. What really speaking is Atmagyani. That both have been discussed in 27th verse and 28th verse. Brahma sansparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. So that sukham, which doesn't have any boundary, is called atyantam. That we have seen. And now in 29th verse, what we have been seeing from yesterday, Bhagavan has discussed Sarvatma Bhavaham. That we have seen. The meaning of Sarvatma Bhavaham is In myself is a consciousness. That consciousness is in all. That vision is called Sarvatma Bhava. If Bengal has vision, if this nose ring has vision, my real nature is gold, and being gold, I am available in all type of ornaments. It's called Sarvatma Bhava. That Bhagavan is discussing in all verses 29 and 30. We have seen Sarva Bhutastham Atmana. Let us see. Sarva Bhutastham. Here Bhagavan and Shankaracharya says, Yogasya Yat Phalam. Dhyana Yogasya. Meditation. Yat Phalam. The result. And result is Brahma Ekatva Darshanam. There is a oneness between myself and Ishvara. Ekatva. Darshanam. And that Sarvatma Bhavaha is the cause of removal of all sansara. Tat pradarshate. It has been shown in this 29th verse. In main, yesterday we have seen, main sentence is Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha Ikshate. The main sentence. Yuktatma, Yoga Yuktatma, here the last one, Atma means mind. One whose mind is resolved is called Yukta. And if someone asks resolved because of what, then it is Yogena. Because of meditation, that mind is resolved, and such resolved mind, that Jnani, Sarvatra, everywhere, Samadarshana, the vision of oneness, Ikshate, it sees. But still we can ask where that person has the oneness. That's why Bhagavan explained this in first line. There are two sentences in this. One is Sarva Bhutastham Atmanam Ikshate, and second one is Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmani Ikshate. That Yoga Yuktatma means Jnani Purush. Atmanam means oneself. He sees oneself in all beings. Sarva Bhutastham means in all beings. And same person, Sarva Bhutani, all beings, Cha Atmani, in myself. That called Samadarshana is called sameness, the vision of sameness, and technically it's called Sarvatma Bhava. So we don't have complaint to anyone in this whole world because everything is nothing but Brahman. Yesterday it was a less time, but still that question has been asked by, our Anita ji. She has asked what is the Advaita. So let's explain the meaning of Dvaitam is not two things. The meaning of Dvaitam is plurality. One plus more is called Dvaitam. And there is a no Dvaitam. It's called Advaitam. So Advaitam is always in our understanding. It cannot be possible in front of us. But if we say, what is the meaning of Advaitam? The same yesterday what we have seen, suppose with different ornaments is made up of gold. So gold is one, but ornaments are many. These many ornaments are called Dvaitam. But if we ask a goldsmith, so his vision is never in ornaments. He always say how much carat of this gold. So he's always Samadarshanaha in gold. With reference to gold, that person is Samadarshanaha. And another, the name of Samadarshanaha, Ekatma, we can call it as Advait also. In different ornament, the goldsmith has only one vision, and vision of gold. Dvaita means plurality, and Advaita means only one. There is no plurality. In spite of Dvaitam, one who has a vision of non-duality. It's called Advaitam. That's why Advaitam is in our understanding. This is the truth of this word, but whenever we see is always Dvaitam. But in spite of Dvaitam, we can see there is no other thing other than consciousness. This vision is called Advaitam. If somebody says, I am seeing Advaitam everywhere, it cannot possible. Even Jnani has to face Dvaitam only. But in spite of Dvaitam, in and through, there is a one common consciousness. If one can perceive, one can understand, that understanding is called Advaita. Same way, pot maker can see clay in every pots. Same way, if that furniture, one who is preparing furniture, that per carpenter can see only wood in all furniture, so that carpenter has a Advaitam with regards to furniture. That goldsmith has a vision with regards to gold. Same way, a person who knows whole Jagat, the Karan of whole Jagat is nothing but consciousness. Or we can say even Ishvara. The cause of whole Jagat is nothing but Ishvara. And if Bhagwan is cause or Brahman is cause of whole Jagat, so he is the material cause of whole Jagat. So that Jnani has a vision of only the cause. He never see the effect in spite of reacting with only effects. But one who has that vision is called Advaita. That's why Bhagavan says in these both verses, the Sarvatma Bhavaha Advaita, oneness means in spite of all duality, one who can see only one thing. In spite of Dvaita, this is called Advaita. Sometimes, there are hardcore Vedanti. They say Jagat is Mithya, Brahman is Satyam. This is our understanding, but we have to always react or all Vyavahara with Dvaitam only. So, in spite of Dvaitam, we have to keep that Advaita vision in our mind. This understanding is only. After having all knowledge, if you are reacting, we are not acting with Jagat, and if we are reacting with Jagat, then we don't have Jnana. So Jnana means, in our understanding, here nothing is Ishvara. It's called Advaita. That's why it's called Sarvatra Samadarshana. Even yesterday we have seen, there is a Nirvisheshaha and there is a Visheshaha. Because Shankaracharya says, the main sentence is Sarvatra Samdarshanaha. So what is the meaning of Sarvatra Samadarshanaha? One who has the same vision, season of oneness. But where? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Sarva Bhuteshu, among all beings. It starts from where? So he says, Brahma Adi. It starts from Brahmaji. Anta, and at the end of Sthavara. So we can take as a plant, we can take as a tree, or all are Sthavara, immovable. Among all, and they are Vishameshu. The meaning of Vishama means there are different, variegated, different type of all beings. One who has vision is Samam. And what is Samam? Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Nirvishesha. In spite of all Vishesha, there is a one common. It's called Nirvishesha. In that Nirvishesha, one who knows this is called Sarvatra Samdarshana. And then Nirvishesha is Brahma, Atma, Ekatva. Brahma means total Brahman, all-pervasive Brahman. And we taken is a Pratyagatma, who is sitting inside our body. Both are one and same, Ekatva. That knowledge, Darshanam, Jnanam, Yasya. One who has this knowledge, this vision, that person is Sarvatra Samdarshana. That's why we have seen, in spite of all Vishesha, there is always Nirvishesha. So, This all Bengal ring, earrings, nose rings, these are called Vishesha, Dvaita. Let us say we can take here Dvaitam because there are one plus many. So this is Dvaitam. But among all Dvaitam, this is called Nirvishesha, Advaitam. Gold is Advaitam. Same way all furniture is a Dvaita, but among Dvaita, one is called Advaita. Wood is Advaita. Pots are Dvaita. Clay is a Advaita. Same way, the cause of all beings. We are different type of beings. Starts from Brahmaji to small organism. These all are Visheshaha, Dvaitaha, but among all, one is common. Nirvishesha is, or Advaita is Brahman, consciousness. One who has this vision, this is called Jnani. And here we have taken all beings, but even our own body is also Dvaita only, no? Because we have all parts. So even I am body to say is also Dvaitam, because this body has different parts. But among this body, this is only one. This consciousness is also same. Same in subtle body. There are different parts. Sapta Dashakalabihi, Sukshma Sharira. But in this, there is only one, is our pure consciousness. So all conscious, all beings have same consciousness which we have. This is, if we can understand, this understanding is called Advaita. We cannot live in Advaita. We can understand Advaita. Otherwise, some Vedanta says, I know Advaita. But in spite of Advaita, behavior is different. So we cannot, we can prove this person doesn't understand what is the meaning of Advaita. That person, Ikshate, this is the vision among Dvaitam, one who can see Advaita. This is the vision, Sarvatra Samadarshana. Atmanam Samabhutam. And second line is Atmanam Sarvabhutastham Ikshate. Another vision is a person sees, Pashyati. Atmanam means Swam Atmanam, one's own self, own consciousness. Sarvabhutastham. It is sitting in each and every being. So yesterday also what I have said, I am in all and all are in me. Here is I am in all. And in previous sentence, all are in me. Sarvabhuteshu aham. Ikshate. Sarvabhutani atmani cha ikshate. So this first sentence is I am in all beings, and here Sarva Bhutani Atmani. So all beings are in me only. The truth of all beings and truth of myself is one and same, and this is Brahman. This is called Advaitam. This is called Jnanam. That's why Shankaracharya has written in his Bhashyam, Sarva Bhutani Atmani cha ikshate. All beings are in myself. Atmani means in myself. Ikshate. This Gnanam, Shankaracharya again he started Brahmadini. It starts from Brahmaji. Again, Adini where comes is the meaning it starts from Brahmaji. Paryantani. End up to. Stamba means a blade of grass. A small grass. Sarvani Bhutani. All beings. Atmani 7 by 1. In me, Ekatam Gatani. So, consciousness are same in all beings. So, all beings, if are consciousness, they are into me. This is the vision. It's called Atma Sarvatma Bhavaha or Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. Such person definitely has got moksha. So I was reading Pujya Swamiji's, Gita home study. So Swamiji has explained in different way what is moksha. He says there are many pralayas. There are the dissolution or resolution. It's called pralaya in our Shastra. The pralaya means either dissolution and resolution. And they first manifest and again unmanifest. This cycle will keep on going. So manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest. Puja Swamiji said there are many pralayas, but he has discussed only 3. He says one is called Nitya Pralaya, daily resolution. Second is called Mahapralaya. So total resolution of whole universe is called Mahapralaya. So when Nitya Pralaya takes place? So when we go to sleep, at that time, whole Jagat, in spite of is available out of us, for particular person, is whole Jagat has gone to unmanifest condition. That's why deep sleep considered as a Nitya Pralaya. Nitya means always dissolution in sleep. That's why we are always happy, you know. It is come in Mandukya. Some Swarupani, if we are totally resolved in our own self, that's why we always happy. In sleep gives happiness because this is our own Swarupa. It's called Nitya Pralaya. But when morning comes, again we have to wake up. So whole Jagat from unmanifest to manifest. So it's called Nitya Pralaya. Second, Swamiji has discussed, there Kalpa Pralaya is there, but here Swamiji has discussed. He says again his second one is called Mahapralaya. So in Mahapralaya, whole universe goes to unmanifest condition is called Mahapralaya. So whole cosmos, whole universe goes to, in even subtle also, I have written gross and subtle, everything has gone into unmanifest condition. It's called Mahapralaya. But when time's over, again they will come back as a manifest. So they is not totally come out from samsara, but from unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest. This cycle keeps on going. But there is one is called Atyantik Pralaya. So what is the meaning of Atyantik Pralaya? The meaning is for Jnani, one who has Sarvatra Samdarshana. That person has Atyantik Pralaya. Means this is the last Pralaya. If person expired, goes, then he never comes back. Atyantik means last one. Pralaya means resolvement. If we ask the pot, the space inside the pot, if pot breaks, then the space inside the pot merge with the space which is all pervasive. Same way, for Jnani, one who is really the vision of oneness, one who knows I am not body, mind, sense complex, when he goes away, when that person completed his prarabdha karma, the consciousness inside of this body merge with total, all pervasive. That is called Atyantik Pralaya. And that is called also moksha. And how it will come? So, because of this reason, Sarva Bhutani Atmani cha ikshate. Because always effect merge in cause. Same way, this body is the effect, but when Gnanam, total effect resolved in cause. Because of Agnani, Jiva will come back, but for Gnani, it is the last. That's why when we receive sannyasi, you know, Parantakala, the Parantakale, Paramrutat, there is a one mantra. Parantakal means it never comes back. This is called Atyantik. Even while living only, when person has knowledge, and knowledge of what? So whole universe is collapsed at that time of knowledge, and that person knows, except myself, nothing is here. This is also called Atyantik Pralaya. But at the end of that person's life, that person never comes back. So it's given in Mundaka. It's very beautifully it is given. If Jnani goes after death, how can we trace where Jnani has gone? Because Jivatma will come back. But where Gnani goes, how can we make out where Gnani is? So he says, if some animal walks under the water, on the water, can you trace that is footprints of that animal? If one who walks on the top of the water, we can't. Even he says, can we trace the birds? One always fly in the sky, we cannot trace it. Same way, we cannot trace where is the consciousness inside of that Gnani has gone, because he becomes the one. This is called Atyantik Pralaya. But while living also, it is called Atyantik Pralaya. And when it will come, it's because of this vision. Sarva Bhutastamatmanam Sarva Bhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshana. This is the best. Same shloka, same meaning, but Bhagwan has presented in this verse differently. In first, suppose I would like to show you. Here Bhagwan says Atmanam means oneself, and Sarva Bhutastam, so in all being, and Sarva Bhutani cha Atmani. Here Bhagwan has used Atmani means in oneself. This Atmani and Atmanam is replaced by here Mai and here Mam, second case. So first time Bhagwan has presented him as a Ishvara in this 30th verse. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati. Same meaning. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. A person, a jnani, mam pashyanti. Bhagwan says mam means not is the only Krishna, but the meaning mam means my real nature is nothing but consciousness. As a Ishvara, mam pashyati sarvatra. Bhagwan Shankaracharya has given the meaning of sarvatra is again all beings, sarva bhuteshu. Yaha sarva bhuteshu mam pashyati. And again, sarvam chamai pashyati. The meaning is sarvam bhutana. All beings, sarva bhutani. All beings are nothing but in me, Ishvara. One who says is also sarvatra samdarshana. But here Bhagwan says, for such person who has such vision of ekatma bhavaha, for that person, tasya means for that person, aham na pranashyami. The meaning of pranashyami is, I am not remote from him. I am always with him. Remote means away. Pranashyami is away. But na pranashyami means I am never can away from him. Because that person knows the truth of any single Jivatma is also consciousness, and truth of Ishvara is also consciousness. Is one and same, then how it can be remote? That's why Bhagwan says, for such person, aham na pranashyami, I cannot be away from him. And at the same time, saha me na pranashyati. Even that person cannot be remote from me. Here the me is mat, na pranashyami. He cannot remote from me because everything is, how can that drop of ocean can say I am away from ocean? And how can ocean says I am away from that drop? Because both are one and same, because both are water only. Same way, one who knows in myself also Chaitanya, and in Ishvara also Chaitanya, both are in one and same. We cannot be remote from each other because we are one and same. The aham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. So again same, sarvatra samadarshanaha. But first time, because after 7th chapter, total topic will be changed. And Bhagwan introduced what is Ishvara. So it starts from here. Bhagavan started from Mam. Up to here, if you have noticed, from first chapter up to sixth chapter here, Bhagavan never presented him like Aham or Mam. But from sixth onward, from sixth to up to 12th, Bhagavan is introduced himself as Ishvara. That's why 10th chapter, 11th chapter is nothing from Ishvara. He's discussing Ishvara. But this starts from 30th verse of 6th chapter. So if we take Anvaya, Anvaya is same. Yaha mam sarvatra pashyati. Yaha, a person, XYZ, maybe he or she, mam pashyati, mam Ishvara is a form of consciousness, sarvatra, sarvabhuteshu pashyati, in all beings, if we see, and sarvamcha, sarvabhutani, all beings, mai, in me, is 7 by 1. One who sees, for such person, aham na pranashyami. Tasya means for such person, aham na pranashyami. I am not remote. Sahacha me na pranashyati. He cannot be away from me because we are one and same. Beautifully Bhagavan is presented. How can space of Porbandar and space of US says we are separate? It cannot be possible because space is only one and all pervasive. Same way consciousness is also all pervasive. How can they remote? Everything is one only. So when Yahamam Pashyati in verse Bhagavan, so Shankaracharya ji has written Vasudevasya Sarvamatmanam. What is the meaning of Mam? So Shankaracharya says Vasudeva. Really speaking, the meaning of Vasudeva, Vasu means Vasayati Sarvam, who available or everywhere is called Vasu. And Devam, one who is the Malik, Swami, master of everything, is called Vasudeva. So Vasayati Sarvam Vasu, Tasya Deva is Vasudeva. That Vasudeva, which all pervasive, is Sarvasya Atmanam. That Vasudeva is the truth. Atmanam here we can take as a truth. Sarvasya, of all being. Started from Brahmaji up to even bacteria, even virus. Consciousness is same. So Sarvasya Atmanam. And Sarvatra is written in Shloka. So Shankaracharya has written, what is the meaning of Sarvatra? Bhagavan says, Sarveshu Bhuteshu, among all beings. Sarvamcha, again he has explained the meaning of Sarvamcha is Brahma Adi Bhuta Jatam. Jatam, if is separate, in Sanskritam, meaning is being born. Ja is Jayate. Past passive participle is Jatam. If is alone Jatam, the meaning is to be born. But when is along with some word, here the meaning of Jatam is group. Bhuta Jatam, Manushya Jatam, when it comes, the group of people. So same, Bhagavan says, Brahmadi Bhuta Jatam. This is a group of all beings. Bhuta means all beings. Bhuta Jatam means group of all beings start from Brahmadi. It starts from Brahmaji. Sarvamcha is called starting from Brahmaji up to all being. Mai, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Sarvatmani, among all beings. Pashyati, that vision is there. Here, Pashyati is not simply seeing, but the meaning of Pashyati means one who sees everything, the vision. Tasya aham na pranashyami. So Shankaracharya has written, what is the meaning of Tasya? Bhagavan says, Tasya Atma Ekatva Darshina. One who has a vision of oneness is called, for that person, one who is Jnani, one who has self-knowledge. For such person, aham na pranashyami. The meaning of pranashyami, what I say is, I am not remote from them. But Shankaracharya has written, na parokshadam gamishyami. I cannot be away. Paroksh means which is not available in front of our five sense organs is called paroksha. There are two. One is pratyaksha and another name is called paroksha. And another is paroksha. The meaning of pratyaksha means anything which is in front of our five sense organ is called pratyaksha. Here prati plus aksha is called pratyaksha. And here the meaning of aksha is sense organ. One who is available in front of our sense organ is called pratyaksha. While paroksha, which is not available for our sense organs, are called paroksha. But there is another one word which is not in front of our sense organ, one which is not even remote from our sense organ, but who is always with us without missing any bits also. It's called aparoksha. This aparoksha is called na pranashyami. Our consciousness, even Ishvara, cannot be possible in front of our five sense organs. Because if Bhagwan is in front of our sense organ permanently, Bhagwan can do any Maya is different thing, but as a Swarupa, Bhagwan cannot be remain Pratyaksha. If he become Pratyaksha, then he becomes one object. And if he is an object, then it can come and go. Nashavantaha. Same way, if is not available in front of our sense organ, still it can be object. And any object cannot be permanent. But what is the meaning of aparoksha, which cannot be pratyaksha, which cannot be paroksha, but is always with us? It's called aparoksha. And this is our real nature. Because the truth of Ishvara is also consciousness, and truth of our own self is also consciousness. That consciousness cannot be pratyaksha, that consciousness cannot be paroksha, but this is our real nature, is aparoksha. That's why Bhagavan says, one who knows this vision, I am everything and I can, that gnani cannot be separate from me. For such person, aham na pranashyami. I cannot be remote for that person. Because my consciousness and that person consciousness is one and same. That's why aham na pranashyami. And another, Bhagavan says, sahacha me mat na pranashyati. Even that person, maybe he or she, that person jnani, mat means from me, na pranashyati. He cannot be away, cannot be remote from me. And Bhagavan, Shankaracharya has described such a vidwan. Saha means that vidwan, one who has self-knowledge. Mama Vasudevasya. Who is me? Again, Bhagavan introduced himself as a Vasudeva. Vasayati Sarvam, who is everywhere. From na pranashyati. Again, he says, na parokshi bhavati. It is next impossible. We never ask. It is very, it is very interesting. We can ask, where is that person? Whether he has gets up or not. We can ask me. But can we ask anyone, check, I am live or not? We never can ask, because this is our own Swarupa. It cannot be away for 1 second away from us. It is called na parokshi bhavati. It cannot be remote. Our self-conscious cannot, because this is our real nature. And this is the truth of whole Jagat. Na parokshi bhavati cannot be remote. Tasya, for that person, and mama, for me, ekatmakatvat, that person knows. Suppose I always say that there is a drop of ocean and there is an ocean. The drop of ocean, the truth is H2O, and for the ocean, truth is nothing but H2O. H2O, H2O cannot be parokshi bhavati. Both are one and same, remaining in one ocean. Same way, this whole jagat is nothing but consciousness only. How can one consciousness can be separate? Na parokshi bhavati. But one who has such knowledge, it's called ekatmakatvat. And that person is called Sarva Atma Ekatvadarshi. Bhagavan says that person, for that person, who am I? Sarva, Sarva Atma, the truth of all beings. Ekatvadarshi is the one who can see everything is nothing but Ishvara. In Shankaracharya is written one Brahma, Brihadaranyaka famous line. He says, Swatma hinam atmanah priya eva bhavati. This is very well famous line of Brihadaranyaka. What is that? Atmanam priyam bhavati. That one. What was
Atmanastu kamaya
yes,
sarvam.
sarvam priyam bhavati. Same way, atmanah priya bhavati. For oneself, who is the most lovable? Swatma, one own self is always we love to oneself. And that ourself is nothing but, Bhagavan says, me only. And one who is Sarva Atma Ekatvadarshi, that person is, Bhagavan is given, Shankaracharya is given, that person is Ekatvadarshi, the vision of oneness. Which type of vision? Sarva Atma Ekatva. One who has a vision of oneness of all beings. Whether somebody is loving us, whether somebody is hurting us, but for Gnani, he doesn't have any type of complaint because he knows, that person knows in each and every being, I am only available. So I have quoted, one very well famous sloka. So if somebody asks, what is the crux of Vedanta? What is the vision of Vedanta? If you want to give an answer in one line. So this is the shloka, is very famous. Ardha shlokena pravakshyam is given by Vedavyasa actually. Somebody asked Vedavyasa, you have written all 18 Puranas, you have written all Brahma Sutras, you have written everything. But if somebody asks, what is the crux of all you have written scriptures? So he says, Ardha shlokena pravakshyami. I will give answer within a half shloka. Ardha shlokena pravakshyami yaduktam grantha koti bihi. Even though I have explained in many granthas, in many scriptures, uktam, I have told in many grantha, but what is the crux? What is that half shloka? Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. The truth of all sansara is Brahma Satyam. Here is nothing but consciousness is the truth. Here the meaning of Brahman is the consciousness is the truth and Jagan Mithya. And whole Jagat is dependent on Brahman. Here Mithya doesn't mean non-existence. The meaning of Mithya is it doesn't come in existence also. One who doesn't come in non-existence, which is in between, is called Mithya. The truth of the pot, if we ask, what is the truth of pot? So we can't say pot is non-existent because pot is existent because of clay. But without clay, it cannot be exist. So the pot is called Mithya. Same way, Jagat is emerged out of consciousness. Because of consciousness, Jagat sustained. This Jagat is called Mithya. So again, I can repeat. People always say Jagat Mithya and they do whatever they like. But really speaking, the meaning of Jagat Mithya is here is nothing but Ishvara only. Really speaking, the mithya word, if we say the pot is mithya, so what is the another translation we can present? This, there is a no pot, only clay. If we say what is the reality of ornaments, we say there is a no ornaments, is only gold. Same way, what is the reality of Jagat? We can say there is a no Jagat, but there is only Ishvara. It is called Mithya. So Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, and Jivaha Brahma Eva. The truth is, what we call Jiva is nothing but Brahma Eva. It is consciousness only, na aparaha. It is not another thing. It is not separate entity, but Brahma and Jiva are one and same. This is called Sarvatma Bhavaha, Sarva Ekatma Darshi. Both this 29th and 30th verse are just beautiful. And in 31st verse, Bhagavan has described one who is this knowledge, this Ekatma Darshanam, the vision of sameness, whenever that person would be. Sarvartha Vartamano be. He may be male, he may be female, in everywhere, but Sa Yogi Mai Vartate. He always abides in me. He can never separate from me. But this we will see next time. Any question? Now, what is Anita ji? You have clarity about Advaita and Dvaita?
No, clear, Swamiji, clear, almost clear, but sometime I am not able to understand.
It's
Deeply
okay.
you will explain, you give explanation. For my capacity, maybe I am not able to understand, but I am trying to.
No, it's okay. More you listen, no? More will you understand. No problem.
Swaminiji, this Tasyaham na pranashyami. I'm never away from him and he is never away from me. So beautiful. Yesterday I was looking at this. Yesterday when you were doing the lecture, I was looking at that verse pranashyami, and I was thinking, what does this pranashyami mean? Nashyati. I was thinking it is nashyati. Pranashyami. Is there another meaning for pranashyami?
When Nashyate means to perish, to destruction, but when pra is added, no, totally different meaning.
Different meaning.
Yeah, so gachati means to go, but when we add prefix agachati means to come, is totally opposite. Same way, nashyati is to perish, but pranashyati, it cannot be away. Totally different.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
This is simply amazing.
Swamiji, in the 9th chapter, 31st verse, I was thinking the exact same thing that Hemlata ji is asking. There it says, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. And there Puja Swamiji translates it as, my devotee never perishes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But here is taken here totally different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Shankaracharya is same way, no? He's given totally different meaning.
Yeah, because there may be Swamiji, it's in the context of bhakti, maybe that.
We will see at that time that Bhashyam we will check how he is taken.
Okay.
Name Bhakta Pranashyam. Yeah.
And Swaminiji, that when you said the Paranta Kale, like you cannot trace the consciousness of a jnani. And when Atyantika Pralaya, one who had Atyantika Pralaya. So, like you cannot trace the footprints of an animal that walks on water, or a bird that flies in the sky.
Yeah.
Where is that description coming?
In Mundaka.
Mundaka Upanishad?
Yeah.
Amazingly put.
Yeah. So we never tried to trace where is Puja Swamiji.
He's everywhere. He's always
everywhere. Yeah, he's everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, I heard a story like someone asked, said, "Oh, I went to Tiruvannamalai and saw Ramana Maharishi," and then the person asked, "Oh, what is special?" Like then he says, "Oh, nothing special. Just like everybody else, he eats idlis and he walks around."
Swaminiji, also that when you said that na pranashyami, so like na parokshi bhavati. So is never removed. So I was
Paroksha is always remote, no? Paroksha is remote.
never remote.
Never remote.
So I was thinking of that. That where you say Ishvara, when you talk of Ishvara, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, smaller than the smallest. So it's like so close, never away.
Yeah.
You think of the universe as so big, but it's also at the same time so close.
So at that time when Upanishad use such language, no? So the intention of Upanishad or Shruti is we should come out to measurement of Ishvara, how much big or how much small. You should come out from this mytham. You cannot
from this
measure.
measurement.
Yeah, from measurement is out of here. You cannot measure Ishvara. Mahato Mahita. How can if he big, then how can it smallest? If he's smallest, then how can it be? So it is not small, not big. It's
Not
a
big.
total.
Parokshi seems to be right.
Yeah.
Aparokshi.
Yeah.
Aparokshi.
Which cannot be away. If every
Never away. Never away.
There is a book, right, Swaminiji, that Shankaracharya wrote, Aprokshanubhuti or something.
Yes, there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Parokshana. It's a little bit difficult, but it's not
Oh,
difficult.
okay.
It's not difficult actually, because it is always, according to my thinking, Upanishad is our own autobiography. Then how can it be difficult?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always explain who we are. What we are writing our autobiography is not correct. This is our common to all.
Yes. Swaminiji, but anubhuti, does it mean experience?
Anubhuti means sometimes we sit in meditation, we have some experience, something which is different from normal parlance.
Yes.
It stays or it indicates we are on right path. But sometimes people always stuck there. Did not to stuck.
Because they
Always
enjoy it.
indicate, yeah, it is good. You please go ahead.
Yeah. Because it's almost like passing moods, Suddenly you get a very, very good mood and you feel the whole universe is one and you are one with the universe. And then it passes away and now you are depressed. Oh, I wish I could get that feeling back again,
No, but that is in the mind, isn't it? So
Yeah.
It's a milkshake technology, milkshake philosophy, no? You're being sad that it is going and you're not enjoying.
Yeah.
No, but since that is in the mind, and so the mind is not, is mithya. So you have to ignore the mind also. So let the mind be depressed, doesn't matter. Right? It's okay. Mind is happy at one time, mind is depressed at another time, doesn't matter.
If we can reach at that level, no, we are just mukta.
Exactly. Simply ignore the mind, never mind the mind.
Yeah. Somebody said, never mind, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Mind is matter.
Mind
Mind is matter, so it doesn't matter.
There's a Puja Swamiji, that slogan, no? Psychology has no solution, Vedanta is no
No
problem.
problem. Yes.
Because we are not depressed, mind is depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you said that, Swaminiji, right? That Jagat Mithya. So like, sometimes it could be interpreted to mean, yeah, it is Mithya anyway, so how does it matter? You
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
do
but we
whatever
should
you
not,
want to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I mean, that is correct if you can truly do that, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do it selectively. I mean, when it suits us, we say Jagat Mithya. When it doesn't suit us, Jagat is not Mithya anymore.
Yeah. That's why it's better. Always, I always say there are two type of theory. If one is neti, this is nothing. But one is Ishavasya Idam Sarvam. Everything is inclusive. This is best for us. Sometimes we can neglect what we don't like, but here we have to accept everyone.
That's right.
Then there is a growth.
It's like we use generally, you are always trying to use everything, everybody, everything in the world to your own advantage. You know, this is how human nature is. You are always trying to use. Now here, you being a Vedanta student, you're also trying to use Ishvara.
Yeah.
By saying everything is mithya, so it doesn't. So you know.
Mithya theory is better. The meaning of mithya is everything is Ishvara.
Everything is Ishvara. Yes, that's how it is.
Yeah. If pot is mithya, the meaning is pot is clay.
Pot is clay. Pot is
Same
clay.
way, Jagat is mithya, Jagat is Ishvara.
So in fact, you should have total respect for everything.
So we cannot avoid anyone. We cannot hurt anyone. We cannot neglect anyone. Everything is Ishvara. How can we do?
Yes.
Yeah, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Swamiji, like he calls, his theory is that like a jnani is someone who does neti, whereas a vijnani, he says, is Ishavasyamidam Sarvam, like, everything is Brahman for him. Including the apparent world, everything is real for him. He doesn't dismiss anything.
Yeah.
But he sees everything as Ishvara.
Ishvara. It's called mithya. Really speaking, it's called really mithya. So all goldsmith has one way jnanam with regards to gold or ornaments. Here is nothing. There are no ornaments, only gold. Same if we have, no, then we just cross the world. We are mukta.
Yeah, it almost seems like, Swamiji, it is harder to do the Ishavasyamidam Sarvam than it is to do neti.
Yeah. Neti is more easy, actually.
It is easier, it seems to me. At least conceptually, it seems like it is easy.
But only when you do neti to everything will you come to Ishavasyamidam Sarvam, isn't it?
If you know very, very well, then otherwise, there are half cooked or half digested. There are Vedantis. They say the mithya. So we can do whatever we like. This is very wrong.
Because there is a danger, I think. I mean, I may be wrong, Swamiji.
Yeah,
If you do neti, it kind of creates some kind of disillusionment with this life, and your interactions with other people is messed up.
Yeah. Even it gives little bit arrogance also,
Yeah.
People are arrogant.
Yeah, arrogance, and maybe you could even be depressed, or all kinds of psychological problems can arise if you don't assimilate that neti properly.
But Ishavasya is good. Everything is Ishvara. We cannot avoid anyone.
Yeah, because you think like scientifically or biologically, it is the same physiology that is there for all human beings.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same physiology, same blood, same everything.
Even I used to say, even gross body level, only Panchabhutas. Even subtle level is also subtle Panchabhuta. There is always same. Only thinking process is different. Otherwise, everything is same. Masala is same in each and every.
Exactly.
Varies. That's it.
The thinking process is what adds the masala.
Yeah.
Secret ingredient.
This is nice. The kitchen Vedanta, Swamiji. Like instead of golden ornament, you can give the masala example.
Shall we do Purna Pada?
I am hungry now.
Next time.
Namada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri
Shri
Gurubhyo
Gurubhyo
Namaha.
Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you so